Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Toku Turn Back. I'm your host from the Stratos, and today we're going to be taking a look at Gosei Sentai Dairanger episodes 31 through 35. And man, these are some of the better episodes that I've seen in a while for Goseiger. Or no, not Goseiger. Haven't watched Goseiger. Don't plan on it. Gosei Sentai Dairanger. I mean, like I said, in my past review, the episodes that have been coming out aren't they're a bit weaker, and I feel like we're returning more to I don't know, just overall better episodes. It feels like everything was organized and edited a lot better, especially here in episode 31, Another Hero Comes Forth. And this is where the storyline of Kameo comes into play. It's we finally get the conclusion to it. It turns out that Kameo is don't know what they call. I don't remember what they called it in Dairanger, but he's tore the shuttle Zord, right? It was so cool. It was. I don't know. I've warmed up to him because we've had a lot more time with him. I'm glad they set him up way earlier. Unlike what I previously said, I'm really glad that we got to meet this character earlier and kind of get a feel for his character. This was billed as more of a yellow focus episode, but it turned out to be more of a cameo focused episode. And his connection to Yellow really served to just elevate the story a little more. I deeply enjoyed the moments that just the moment that he realized that Kameo, he had to take on this power and in order to help his friend, and that's why he was doing it. He was scared otherwise, and he found strength in the love of his friend, and I don't know, it was just a powerful arc for him to go through, and I loved it. We finally got the full creation of the what is it called? The bazooka, the brand new bazooka weapon. And it was pretty cool. Nothing I wasn't really expecting. It's just another new weapon. They also shot it at Yellow because he had an evil mask on him. That's fine. That's fine. It's Sentai, so I'll cut it some slack. And it was really really nice to see all of them coming together and trying to get him back. It felt really nice. And he at the end of the episode turned into Tor the Shuttle Zord, and it was dope. And he started wailing on the villain of the week. And yeah, it was overall a great conclusion to what I think it was the conclusion to the Four Divas too. I'm not sure. Let me check. Oh well. Honestly, they're not really all that important. If they pop up again, I'm not going to be surprised. But, and in the background, and I think this goes back to what I was saying earlier about Jin. They had the subplot going on in the background, which ended up being important. It turns out, Emperor 15, the Gorma Emperor 15, is literally fishing Akomaru out of hell. And I'm glad we're finally getting a good villain back. It's weird to say that, but the child actor, the child, is the best villain that I think we've had on the show. And because he's so connected to Ko's story, and he ultimately serves to make Ko a better character. So anytime he's back, anytime I see him again, I'm happy. Because overall, like, his motivations are good. His plans are good. I love everything about his story. So I'm glad to see him back. Now let's move on to episode 32, Demon with the Golden Kick. Now this one, I felt like this episode was kind of in its own sort of vacuum. Yeah, because, like, Ko doesn't even show up. What's his name? Kameo doesn't even show up. Like, you could stick this episode outside of its opening sequence in any time before Ko joins the team, because, like, it focuses on the main cast, which I'm fine with. I really would have liked to see, just follow up from episode 31, bringing Kameo into the team, and, like, in these 5 episodes that we're looking at here, I feel like the major misstep is not bringing Kameo in, outside of summoning him as a Zord. But, that's neither here nor there. Actually, is he, like, permanently stuck like that? That might be the case. I don't want that to be, because I like Kameo, so I'm fingers crossed, hope it's not happening. But this episode, Demon with the Golden Kick, it gave us some really nice character moments between Ryo and Blue. Shoot, come on. What is his name? Shoji. I really like seeing those two together. They have this great chemistry, great camaraderie. The plot's simple. Red wants Blue to wake him up in the morning. Blue tries, he fails, so then he communicates, because Ryo is very sleepy, so he wants Blue to wake him up early. And when all else fails, he calls him on the Dairanger thing, the Aura Changer, and tries to wake him up and say, hey, it's a Gorma attack. But then, the boy who cried wolf situation, he doesn't believe him when the Gorma is actually attacking. And then he suffers those consequences. I suppose that was the lesson of the episode. They built up the villain of the week as this, like, insane fighter whose kick was unbeatable, but after the first kick, anytime after that, it was basically useless, and they put him in the ground again. The top tier villain, the higher up villains that I don't like, still don't like him, because, I don't know, he kind of just shows up. One of them, the one without, it's the guy without the metal piece on his eye. He shows up, he's like, hey, let me help you. And then the villain's like, no. The other villain's like, no, I don't want your help. And then he helps him anyway. And then, villain of the week dies, and then, I don't know, just useless. They don't do anything. I mean, and anything they do, like with Jin, they take the power from them, and they're just like, okay, we can't stop you now because we made you too powerful. They're useless. Whatever. They're. It's fine. It's Sentai. But outside of that, great episode. It was a lot of fun. And it was about birds and stuff, and, like, capturing them and blah blah blah. There was a pretty neat bird puppet. I mean, I knew it was a puppet. It's pretty easy to tell that it's a puppet, but, like, it was a pretty good puppet, I bought it. Kinda. Okay, no. Alright, that's not fair. I didn't buy it, but, I, like, it was surprisingly good, that puppet. So, yeah, I like this episode. Let's move on to episode 33. Oh, an idol's first experience. And we finally get some Pink development. And I feel like this is the first time she finally finds, like, how earlier in the season they had that episode where the 4 divas brought out their the people that meant the most to their like development. And then Pink got nothing. I feel like we finally get something, and I know it's like just based around this guy that she loves, and it's, you know, a fine love story. It's fine. I just wish there was something, you know, that this character would have ambition outside of a relationship. But you know what? Something is something. Like, it's something. It's something to latch on to, and I like it. It was a nice story. Doesn't matter how many times. It's like a Romeo and Juliet situation where, oh, Romeo's a Gorma, and then Juliet's a good guy. And, you know, the Gorma dies, and actually more of a West Side Story situation, since Juliet didn't kill herself in this situation. But it was a good story. I liked it. Ko is here, and then, like, Akumaru shows up as the shuttle. Don't know where regular Akumaru is, so, alright. I mean, this is good. This is a good episode. These past few episodes don't really feel like any... Not too serialized, but, you know, it's good. I like it. It's good stuff. Let's move on to episode 34, A Prickly Maiden Hunt. And this was perhaps... let me look at the next episode. Oh, these next two episodes are really good. They're really good. This first one mainly focuses on Green, and it's this story about a cactus that he fostered and cared for. Turns out it's a little girl, and like it was just a very touching story. You saw it. Like, if you're listening to this review, you've seen it. It's it's a great story. This guy's abducting children, and obviously Green is on the case. Like, he's so cool. The amount of anger he had in his heart for this guy who was terrorizing children, it was justified, and I wanted to, you know, to completely obliterate him too. And the villain design was pretty weird, pretty out there. Like, it's a cactus, but he's also like a lighter, so he like opens up the top of his head, and then like the fire shoots out. It's so funny. I love it. It's, you know, it's Sentai. You gotta love it. But it was a really touching story. They retroactively gave Green like this new character to be around, you know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I feel like this, while a bit shaky, it did work. He already kind of has the story with Kujaku. So I didn't know why they needed to give him this one, but I like it. I really like it. It was a great story. Just Green's my favorite. No other way to say it. He's friggin' cool, and I don't know. This served to make him a lot cooler. All right, let's move on to episode 35, the last of this string of episodes that I watched. New Secret Art, The Dance of Spiders. This was a really good episode as well. It starts out with them learning about why traditional Japanese dance is important to being a fighter and their kenpo. And we also get the return of Jin, who has now turned into the, you know, he's the demon guy now. Excuse me. And it's cool to see him back again, because, like I said earlier, I would have liked a slightly reoccurring villain that shows up in the background. I mean, it kind of sucks that he only shows up when he's useful. That's not what I meant to say. He only shows up when they really want to use him, not to set him up earlier. Like, if you can use him early on, in any other way, maybe like just, or some nods to that actually happening in the background, something to make it feel like time is actually passing. A lot of these, like I said, without Ko or Akumaru in them, you can fit them anywhere, because sometimes they're relevant, sometimes they're not. But we're back to Jin, and he mastered this new technique that puts a spider on your tummy, a little spider tattoo on your tummy, and then it crawls up and bites you in the neck and kills you. It was pretty great. The acting in this episode, friggin' incredible. The blood curdling screams heard from Red, oh, gut wrenching. And to see the team rally behind Red and try their hardest to save him, and on top of that, make sure like he doesn't have to worry about them. It was so nice to see. I felt the camaraderie of the team. This does really feel like a team, and I'm glad. I'm so glad for it. They go to fight Jin on their own, and they can't do it. They're not able to. And the lesson they learn, or at least Red learns this episode, is that you need a calm presence of mind or something in order to fight properly and be a fighter. And not quite sure how that fares. I mean, I suppose it works in real life. I don't fight, so I wouldn't know. But it was nice. It was a great lesson, I suppose. He got rid of his fears. He calmed himself. He calmed his nerves. And then the curse went away, and he friggin' beat up Jin. Oh, no. He didn't, because the dumb villain in the background, same guy from earlier, he uses another villain of the week that doesn't do anything to kill Jin, and then he wants to revive Jin as his own puppet. Okay. I mean, okay. It doesn't matter to me, honestly. And outside of that, this was a great episode. It was a great team building episode. I loved it. The dynamic between all of them is just, I feel it. There's a great synergy in the team, and I feel it. I feel it coming from them. They obviously love and care for each other a lot. I mean, also seen in Pink's Focus episode when, they had the standard, oh man, she's so pretty sort of moment. But after it was evident that she was hurting and someone close to her had died, they stood by her. And, just this team, this is a really good team. This is a lovely team. And I think that just about wraps up my look at these 5 episodes. Overall, they were pretty good. Still loving the series. Green's my favorite character. Red hits that close second. All the characters are so good, actually. Except for Yellow, because he doesn't get to do much. But, I like it. I love this show. And next episode, Kujiku is back, and we're getting those tears to make sure she lives, and I'm so excited. We finally get to conclude that arc, and I love the Kujiku and Green relationship. I need more of it, and I hope it's concluded here, because I want to see a good conclusion. Anyways, guys, that's about it. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you if you want to tell me what you thought about these episodes, tell me in the comments down below. Hit that subscribe button if you want to hear more from us each week. Also, notification squad, ring the bell, dingle that dongle. Also, all the links to our social medias are in the description down below for the Go Mango Network and my personals. We also have a Discord chat, so hop on in there if you want to talk to us. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. See ya.